Welcome to the 9th edition of Dead by Daylight Mobile Adventures. I have to say, this is the first time since Dead by Daylight Mobile Adventures 5 where I've had to record myself multiple times trying to do this installment, and the reason for that is because my computer has an issue where it clicks off on this one key, and if I'm watching something in my editor, it'll start the recording. Let's say it's 10 minutes long, 18 minutes in, it will take it all the way back to the beginning and then just keep skipping back to the beginning. So I've had two instances where I get a minute into recording this and then it goes back to the beginning. That's just so annoying, and it's another one of the reasons why I don't really like doing these that much. The killer in this match is Hillbilly. I probably shouldn't have gone through that window, but I do it anyway because I know that Hillbilly's really fast compared to a lot of other killers, so if you don't cut him off quicker than normal, there's a good chance he'll get you. It's the same thing with Leatherface, except his chainsaw is not as good, but it's that thing of, speed and trying to like very quickly maneuver your way out of it. These matches are going to hold, regardless of how many views this gets, are probably averaging like 40 or 50. A special place in my heart because up until yesterday, these were the last matches I played as Survivor. I recorded these October 24th and then just became very fatigued with the game and some other circumstances outside of it, so I just didn't bother with it. As you can see, I tried to do a generator. Hillbilly came after me, did another one, now he's after me again. And I've mentioned before, the way I work with my gameplay for Survivor is always trying to do generators. If you'll notice, we're over a minute into this match and seemingly, I don't know what any of my other teammates are doing besides the one that I saw in that generator with me. And I should also mention that this is a solo queue match, so a lot of times I'll say, oh, it's this person on my friend list. This time for both of these, it's just me playing with random people. So I guess I'm more prone to, I don't want to say being critical, but just kind of not understanding why they're doing what they're doing. Yeah. And it's even crazier because when I play this killer, I've had these really coordinated team of survivors who will do 2 or 3 generators in less than 2 minutes. Like they just go to, because I mentioned before, when 2 people go on one, it makes it go by faster. And sometimes, in some cases, you'll have 3 people on a generator, which I think is insane in almost every instance. But regardless, they'll finish the generators really, really quickly. So when I see that me by myself, right, is about to finish this next one, and the one that was finished before, I helped it goes back to that like really uneven nature of this stuff, because at most the killer can be chasing one person and then there's 3 other ones, myself included, who should be doing generators. But that's why I say a lot of times when the survivors don't win or only like 1 or 2 survive, it's because you do have people that just are rummaging around being random. And this is a good example. He's chasing one person, 2 generators are done. It looks as if there's someone over here doing one because I just got the, as you can see, the visual of it telling me, that generator has been started. I'm not going over there because I keep, seeing my heartbeat get redder, which means I'm closer to Hillbilly than I'd like to be. And it's really annoying when you start doing a generator and then, the killer comes and tries to mess with you. That already happened to me in this match, as you saw at the beginning with the generator that I was doing, getting interrupted. So I try to do this one. I'm still wondering what my teammates are doing. He just loves using that chainsaw. But see, this is the stuff that's weird to me, because if he's theoretically, I always assume if the killer's not on me, they're on somebody else. So if he was chasing someone else, and I do like the little thing we do here, where I just like, that's what I was talking about, when you've gone against some of these killers as often as I do, which is not me trying to keep my own horn, but you do become more equipped to dealing with them. So for example, I very rarely ever go against Oni. So if I upload any matches of me versus Oni, it's going to show that I'm not as experienced with going up against him. But with hillbilly and trapper, for example, because they're so common, I'm a lot more familiar with what to do when I'm around them. Yeah, so one of my teammates did a generator at last. Someone else has started on, and I now remember, this is where I was doing the one that got interrupted. And then this person was actually finishing it, or doing the majority of what was still left over. That is one of my favorite things about having the survivor teams, where a killer takes you off a generator, thinking, oh, I'm stopping him from progressing, or her, or whatever, and then one of your teammates goes to it and finishes it for you. Yeah, this match is not as stressful as a lot of the other ones, admittedly. And a lot of the stress comes from what happens after we finish. So this is what is called the hex state. And in the hex states, I can't believe I'm just now explaining it 9 installments in, but the hex state is where if a killer's totem is not cleansed and all the generators are done, then they can insta-down you, which means that instead of you being able to take 2 hits or 1 hit before, going down on your second one, they can take you out with 1 instead. And so herein lies the problem. We had a very kind of carefree match. Here's where the issue comes in. I want to save this person, right? But there are 2 things that are stopping me. One, they're not on my friends list. As I imagine, I've mentioned, most of my loyalty is extended to people that are on my friend list, to where I actively do things that put myself at risk of getting defeated. The other issue is that I don't want to risk trying to save this person and getting myself killed as well, which has happened before. Now, when you get put in the basement, it's the worst thing ever. Of any of the places to get hooked, that's the worst one, because I've seen so many times where a killer will just stand in the middle of the part where you walk down there, or if it's a trapper, they'll put traps down there so you have to disarm them, or you're forced to walk in them, or something like that. I even had one trapper who tried to put me in the basement, and they weren't able to because they stepped in their own trap. They put 3 of them down there. So I just looked at this and I said, I don't think I can do it. I think it would be virtually impossible for all 4 of us to escape. There's a running gag where, and I think I've shown this in a few matches before. I know this was in the second DVD Mobile Adventures with Bok Bok, where I took her off the hook and then instantly got knocked down by Clown. So this is one of those things where they go to rescue this person and they get knocked down, right? Trying to save this person, and then they get put on the hook instead. They take their place as the damsel in distress. But yeah, the other 2 are recognizing the same thing that I saw, that there's no way. And it really sucks because when you have multiple people still in the match, that other person is healing themselves so that if they get hit by hillbilly, they can go and save Elodie. That's the character that's on the hook. But I guess they don't realize that they were safe, or they could have done this without that much risk, because hillbilly was too busy chasing Jake into the exit. So yeah, that was a match that was mostly carefree, with the exception of the last couple of minutes of it, where we started to play the Let's Exchange hostage game. And the killer in this match is Legion. And if you've seen Dead by Daylight Mobile Adventures 5, which is the, I think, 2nd highest viewed of all of these, you'll know that Legion gave me some very bad nightmares on this map. That match, brother, is just so frustrating to rewatch, or to just think about, knowing how close we were to winning, and just how you have 3 people, 1 generator left, and then somehow he still is able to defeat it. I'll always just look back at that match and the incompetence of the teammates I had during that as a real slap in the face. But getting back to this, so he's knocked down one person already. Because I'm watching this smaller than usual, I can't really see the names. But which it doesn't really matter because these aren't people I would play again with. Or if I do, it would be like random, like, oh yeah, we just coincidentally got matched up again. That did happen to me one time where I played as killer and this person teabagged me and like was mocking me. You know, just more reasons why I don't like playing as killer normally. And then we got matched together at like as survivors, and I was just because I remembered them because they have a really distinct username, and they always play as Young Jin. So when I saw them, I didn't, I obviously can't talk to anybody in here, but I just recognized them. I wasn't too disappointed when Hillbilly got rid of them either. So the thing about this Meg is that I'm really confused here. So initially I was going to move to healer, but I decided not to because, as you can see, Legion is coming over here. But also she could have healed herself when you're in that state where there's that little, you see the bar under her name. You have the ability to mend yourself, which effectively takes you out of that state and just puts you in a normal injured state. So if she had done that, I would have healed her. But for whatever reason, she decided not to, and now she's getting chased by Legion. So I go to hide behind this car because I don't want another instance. I'll keep going back to the match. It was on this same map with the same killer, where I went to go and do a generator, and every time I tried to do one, I would get interrupted, either by somebody who wanted to be healed or by Legion coming to chase after me. So that's the reason I ducked for cover, to try and make sure that I wouldn't be seen. This game really will give you like and I don't even know how that hit, but okay, we already talked about how bad the hitbox in this game is sometimes. This game, like, that match really gave me PTSD. It's like, it's that map and that killer again. Only thing that would make this even more just like a sequel to the other match is having it be the same like player playing as Legion. Yeah, this is one of the tactics a lot of Legions like to do, where they put you in the injured, in the mend yourself state, and you have to eventually mend yourself, or else you will just fall on the ground and right then and there. And they give chase. It's kind of similar to what pigs do, when they put the bear trap on your head, and then after somebody takes you off the hook, they just follow you for the rest of the match. That's why Pig is so frustrating to play against. So yeah, I should also mention that this Heal Yourself perk is from Claudette. And it is so useful because I cannot name how many matches I've had where my teammates will not try to heal me. They won't try to find me to heal me. They will not do anything relating to that. They will let you walk around in that one hit state for the remainder of the game. Like, I was someone who had no interest in ever playing as Claudette, but I played as her just to get this perk on Kate, on Cheryl. Only reason I haven't put it on Meg yet is because I haven't really been playing it. I only played as her for this in the first installment. So maybe she'll make a return at some point. But you get why I like that perk, because people, and I had this one person say, why don't you just bring a medkit? It's like, yeah, I'd rather not have to keep equipping one of those, which you will eventually run out of, as opposed to just having it be something that I always have the option to do. Like, if I know I'm going to keep using this in probably every match I'm in, I don't need to bring, a medkit is just, it's something that is always temporary. Yeah, just getting chased by Legion. How nostalgic. See right there, I got tripped up and not seeing where I was going. It was when you look back and you try to see, and that's another little tactic I like to use, where you double back. I've had people do that to me, so I've also learned to do it. But it still isn't the looping that others describe, where they like move the screen in such a way as to, like, some of the stuff people do to dodge attacks is really I don't want to say impressive, but it is confusing. Like it will trip you up because of just how the camera's moving and stuff. So I get this person off the hook, good old Bill. I'm trying to go and heal him, but apparently he doesn't want me to. And now I can't even do this generator because he'll pick up everyone's lovely Legion. Yeah, Legion was the first one of these that I used regularly. Like it was Huntress for a little bit, and then it was Legion. And then I altogether just stopped using either of them. I'll use them again eventually. I just want to max out this other killer first. 3 people on a generator. The only reason I'm doing this, I know I sound like the biggest hypocrite in the world, is because it's the last one. We have a teammate that is downed but not on the hook yet, and so in the amount of time it takes to down, pick somebody up and put them on the hook, we should have enough time to finish, and we did. So right as that person got put on the hook, the 3 of us powering through that generator got us to to leave or have enough time to exit. But you have noticed the one thing these 2 matches have in common, besides me playing with randoms, that they're like, this one was more intense. Like the hillbilly in the previous match didn't even injure me. This one was more intense. And the commonality they have is that after we do all the generators, there's always someone that's left on hook. So I don't know what's possessing me to go over there. I'm telling you, every time I play a survivor, it's like there's this weird semblance of heroism that I gain. It's so strange. Especially since I already got somebody else off the hook earlier in the match. I met my quota. 2 people off the hook for me. That's a very unusual thing. I'm usually not so nice. And now Legion is targeting me, or rather is targeting that person, and I'm like walking into his way, to make sure he gets his revenge. And I stepped on the hatch. That thing is always nowhere to be found when I actually need it. The only time the hatch ever was useful in any of these matches I've uploaded was in the 6th installment when Bok used it. Other than that, it's completely worthless. You might as well not even bother looking for that thing. So this is something Legion decides to mess up here. He knocks down the Meg from earlier, the one that was injured that I didn't heal, and then I got off the hook, earlier, or a short time ago, and Mori's her, which is when you kill him by your own hand. And I think that was really not a bright move, because the 3 of us were going to stay in this match just to try and rescue her. So, I just disagree with tactics like that. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. Sorry for the hiatus, but these things can be frustrating to record.